Hello and welcome back to the Cash Flow Experience. It is your co-host Destiny Scott, and I am so excited for today's episode because it is a new year. It's 2026, coming out of 2025, where a lot of people struggled and had a hell year because it was a snake year. And 2026 is diving into a horse year, which is going to be expansive. It's going to be incredible. So you probably have all these goals, all these anticipations, but hold your horses. And I mean that literally, because you need to be able to have the capacity to hold it. You have to be able to hold that type of capacity. So if you want six figures, if you want seven figures, if you're stuck in between the six and seven figures and you're trying to get there, it doesn't matter. You have to be ready in order to hold what it is specifically that you want, because you can't just desire it and not have a plan or a structure or habits or create an identity. You have to become the woman that can hold it with full belief and capacity, period. So before we dive into 2026, we want to get prepared to hold what we are building. So if you're building a six-figure income, you're building a seven-figure income, or you're in the limbo between six figures to seven figures, and you're not really sure how to hold the capacity, I have totally been there and I know exactly how you're feeling. You do not have to do this alone. We are here. Jen and I are going to teach you exactly how to hold more money, more expansion, and more capacity for what it is you want. Because unfortunately, wanting more is not enough. We have been taught that desire is enough, and that if you want it badly enough, if you visualize it clearly enough, if you manifest it enough, if you get your nervous system right, you're going to be able to hold it and it will arrive, right? That's not always the case. You can desire expansion, you can desire income, you can desire freedom, and you can still not have the energy to hold it. That sucks, right? We want to have the capacity to hold it. We don't want to be the engine. We want things working for us. When we become the engine, we get into our masculine mode, and that's what we want to avoid. At higher levels, expansion doesn't respond to desire, it responds to capacity. So remember that. When you are trying to hold something, you're trying to reach more goals, if your life feels chaotic, more money won't feel freeing, it's going to trap you. So you have to have the capacity to hold it when shit happens, and it's going to happen because, let's be real, life's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. More money doesn't make it perfect. It makes it better, but it doesn't make it perfect. We need more than that. We need to be able to have the structure, the identity, the habits, the security in order to hold it. So we have launched the Expansion Portal Masterclass that will be on January 16th. So if you want access to expand into the horse year, to be able to hold a six-figure and above income with impact, we want to help you hold that and expand. You can come expand with us, and all you have to do is find us on one of our socials or leave a comment below, and we will get you started and logged in. Or you can click the link in our bio as well. A few other things is motivation is not enough. Your energy is not always going to last. It's not always going to be there. Think of it like, as women, okay, let's go back to our cycle. So we have a 28-day cycle. As women, we're not always going to be ready to hold it. Like, we want to be expansive, we want to constantly run, but we're going to burn ourselves out that way if we don't function from our feminine cycle. Dude, let me tell you one thing. I am a high capacity woman. I am a high level woman. I am a high achieving woman. But I still forget things. I still forget my passwords. I still forget that I need to get my kids to X, Y, and Z events, right? Because I'm holding a lot. I have a large capacity. I have a large schedule. But that doesn't mean things are perfect. It just means that I have a system that works and I have to work it, right? Being in your feminine doesn't mean sitting back and being passive. It means getting structuralized where you can sit back and you can enjoy your life as the woman you are meant to be. Everyone wants a expansive life, but very little people have the capacity to hold it. And I've been there. I can contest 110%. So it is 2026. We're into a new year, which is crazy to think. I'm still tripping up and still calling everything 2025, but that's not here nor there. In 2025, I fell off a little bit because everything just felt super heavy. And the reason being is because I wasn't focused on my structure. I wasn't focused on my mission. I was too focused on my pain. And fortunately, I can see past it. And I do think that was a season I had to be in because I did have a lot of trauma. I had a lot of pain. I had a lot of things come up for me that I thought I had already worked through. So I know this is a common theme for a lot of people. In 2026, we're able to move and expand because we have worked through those things. But if you ignore those things that you were trying to work through in 2025 and ignore the pruning, fear isn't the problem, avoidance is the problem. Avoidance is 100% the problem, not fear. So when expansion comes before capacity, it feels super heavy. It feels stressful. It feels unsustainable. Opportunities feel overwhelming. Decisions feel overwhelming. Freedom turns into pressure when it should have just all been flowing. And in order to be in a flow state, you have to be expansive enough. And to me, what expansive means is being able to have the capacity to hold all the things and goals and desires that I have for my life. And that's exactly what we are showing you in the 2026 Expansion Portal Masterclass. It is going to be insane. It's going to be incredible, and you are going to want in. And let's discuss a few things. So capacity is not mindset. It is not your vision boards. It is not motivation. Capacity is built through order, predictable habits, emotional regulation, self-leadership, and responsibility and structure that you set up that works for you. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very, very, very simple. And honestly, less is more. The more you can hold, the more simple things are. The more simple things are, the more you can hold. So think about it. An expansive life comes just because you have clear structure no matter what life throws at you. You know your identity, you know your habits, and most of the time you can stay very clear on those. That is what is important when you're building an expansive life. And Jen and I really truly want to show you how to build this expansive portal. Because you don't expand into what you want, you're going to expand into what you can hold consistently. And wanting more without preparing for it is only going to be a disaster. If you have all of these goals and you have all of these desires, but you don't have this clear plan, and I would say that is a common misconception that we run into, is that we need to make sure that our energy is on point, our nervous system's on point. And honestly, let me tell you, those are all great tips and are very valid and are important. Your nervous system needs to be settled and feel safe. You do need to have the desires and you need to have the full belief in yourself, but you cannot have full belief in yourself if you're not creating evidence with a clear structured plan. So we want to show you exactly how to create those habits, create the structure, and hold it in order to stay by it. Us as women, we need to feel safe. We need to have a calm nervous system in order to be able to work in our feminine flow state. So if you don't have the capacity to hold what you desire, your goals, or what it is that you want to build this year, then you're really truly not going to be able to hold it long term, and it's just going to be coming in waves. So we want to help you be able to hold your income consistently, where it doesn't come in waves, it comes consistently. Now, success is not linear and it will never be linear, but it should always be growing and expanding. Most people prepare for growth after it arrives, and we want to prepare you before it arrives and to be able to have that container to hold it. And that is the amazing thing, is that we can get you ready for that. And how do we get you ready for that? Because stability attracts attracts sustainability. And that is what you need to know. You need to get it in your head that you can't just run off of your own energy, off your own hormone cycles, and just completing and thinking that you are the engine, because that's not going to be sustainable for you. So an expansive life requires containment. And what I mean by containment is making sure you stick to your identities, your habits, your structure, your schedule, and making sure you have a clear plan each month, each week, and every single day for whenever things happen, because things are going to happen in your life. And being able to have solid schedules, solid routines, and decision rules, especially decision rules. And what I mean by decision rules, making sure you have decisions and protocol in place to make high-level decisions and be able to give your space to make those high-level decisions, because decisions are always going to come up, especially if you are a high-capacity woman. You are a high-level woman. You want to achieve big things and you want to become the high-level, high-capacity woman. You're going to be able to hold it more when you set up structure for yourself, and then that's how you do it. Schedules, routine, decisions, and rules around all the decisions that you make. And if you want support building capacity before expansion, that's what Expansion Portal is for. It's for you, the woman who wants expansion but isn't sure how they're going to hold it. I know that is something that I even struggle with myself, and you will always kind of struggle with. That is why it is important to have protocols, rules, structures, and schedules in place in order for you to stay in order so you can get into overflow. All right, moving on. Let's talk about why expansion does collapse, though. Expansion doesn't collapse because someone wasn't ready enough or they did it wrong. It collapses because capacity was never built first. And that is the biggest gap women face. Expansion increases load before it increases safety. When growth happens, it adds more decisions, more responsibility, more visibility, more emotional demand. If your nervous system is not regulated enough, that load feels like a threat, not an opportunity, right? And what we want is for the capacity that we want to hold, the expansion we want to hold, to feel good in our body, not heavy, not crazy, not unsustainable, not feeling like you can't hold it. And that is a lot of what people feel. The body looks for relief. Relief looks like avoidance, procrastination, self-sabotage, or pulling back. When you find yourself in a state of paralysis above actually moving towards your goals and the plan and the mission, then you are not holding it with high capacity. You actually have very low capacity to hold what it is that you're actually trying to attract, which repels it away. So we want to be able to attract it, right? We want to be able to keep it. We want to be able to hold it. We want to be able to feel safe, feel like it's our normal. So in order to do that, while you're building the thing, the goal, the mission, the business, whatever it is, whatever your desire is, whatever you want in your life, you have to have the capacity to hold it, to receive it, to keep it. And desire pulls forward faster with structured support. And that's all you need. You need a system that supports you and your nervous system. And that is what we are offering you. And guess what? We're only giving it to you for $200, so $199 for the 2026 expansion portal. And everyone can invest $200 into themselves in order to hold more and to be able to have the capacity to hold more.